Good morning. I bow my head because the subject I'm going to talk to you today is near and dear to my heart, and it's something that most humans have struggled with for a long time. Trying to think of words for a title, and an emotional healing, a cry for love is what comes to my mind. Many of us have had emotions come up for us throughout our lives, and we've tried our best to deal with them, and sometimes those of us that have been on the spiritual path, let's call it a spiritual path, or a spiritual quest, perhaps have the most difficult time dealing with our emotions because we want so hard to be positive people. And the way we want to become positive people is by not paying attention, denying, getting rid of, overcoming our negative emotions. And so we suppress them, pushing them down into some part of our being that we try to forget about. We don't get rid of them, though. The universe faithfully, our higher self faithfully brings them back up. And we feel the sadness, the grief, the anger, the rage, and all of those emotions that we've tried so hard to get rid of. To put on a happy face and smile really, really big from ear to ear, which is often a plastic smile to cover the pain, to cover the hurt that is deep inside of each one of us. That happy face mask is hypocrisy. We've all been there, we've all done that. Come on, admit it. You too have felt the pain of our history, the pain of our her story. It's the human pain of living in a world where all of us have forgotten who we were. And the awakening, enlightenment, are about one thing more than any other thing: remembering who we are and allowing ourselves to be human. The spiritual journey isn't about putting away and putting down the humanity. It's about embracing the humanity and allowing yourself to be real. Emotional honesty is what is required for emotional healing, and you cannot become whole spiritually until you heal your emotions. Those emotions, those negative emotions that we try to stuff, are a cry for love. Those emotions are a part of us that has been wounded. And that little child, that innocent little child that has been wounded in its human experience, whether in this lifetime or in previous lifetimes, reaches out and cries out for love. It's in you, it's in me. The cry for love. And when we ignore that child, that innocence within us, that has been hurt, that has been wounded, we do a tremendous disservice not only to the inner child within us, not only to our own essence and our own innocence, but that rejection passes out into the very world around us. And the very things that we're trying to suppress in us become stronger in the world around us, so that we see the violence, we see the hatred, we see the displays of human mistreatment of other humans. We see it all around us because we, the people who have been on this spiritual quest and want to be positive and want to be uplifting and want to feel uplifted, have rejected parts of ourselves that we refuse to give voice to, we refuse to pay attention to. Every one of us feels fears. Every one of us feels angry. Every one of us has felt sadness and grief. And I'm inviting you today to acknowledge that part of you that Carl Jung called the shadow. Or those parts of us that are uncomfortable for us, that make us feel like we're unloved and unlovable sometimes. Where those parts of us dwell, I want you to acknowledge that part of you in your life today and for the rest of your life. When those feelings come up that you don't like. And it's not easy because we've been so trained to push them away. We've been so trained to deny them, to ignore them, that it takes tremendous courage and a tremendous willingness to be willing to treat them differently. Spend time with your negative emotion, whatever it is. I have learned through practice. I'm not giving you theory. I have learned through practice that when I am willing to acknowledge the truth about my feelings, something tremendous happens. Something transforms, something changes when I give love to that which is in me that seems unlovable. Something tremendous takes place. And even if I forget afterwards, and I have many times, I remember for a moment, and then I move on, and I get caught back up in the same thing again. And I start using the same reaction and response that I've used before, and then I say, but wait a minute, let's love. This is just a cry from inside of me for love. It's giving me an opportunity to heal the wound, but I don't heal the wound by ignoring it. I don't heal the wound by pretending it's not there, by putting on a happy face, by wearing a big smile when sadness is what's coming up in me. I don't heal it by doing it that way. I heal it by allowing, because love is allowing. Our fear will tell us a lie. Fear always lies to us. It says, I will make you safe. And love tells us, you are safe. I have always loved you. Now, do we hate the fear because it's trying to protect us? Or do we honor it and say, thank you? Thank you, fear, for trying to protect me. Thank you. It means well in its lie. That's the paradox of the whole thing. It means well in its lie. Yes, it's a lie. Yes, it's illusion. Yes, it's Maya. You can use all those spiritual terms to justify your rejection of it. But your rejection of it does not make it go away. Your denial does not make it go away. Not in your own life and not in the world around you. It will keep on coming back. Honor it and look for the gift. There's always, I'm learning, I'm finally getting it, God. I'm learning that in everything there is a gift. Especially those things that I have pushed down. We do not become whole by imagining light. We become whole by embracing darkness. Ah, the paradox. The paradox. I encourage you this morning to love all of you. To love every feeling that comes up for you. You don't have to be violent with the feelings. In fact, if you are willing to love them, violence won't come forth. And if it does come forth, you'll even be able to forgive that right then in the moment that it happens. You'll be able to say, I'm sorry I overreacted. And you'll forgive yourself even if the people around you are not willing at that moment to forgive you, you'll be able to forgive yourself. I've beat myself up lots of times for feeling what I feel, because I knew it wasn't acceptable. I knew people would look at me as crazy. I knew people would judge me. Why? Because I've judged me. Because I've thought I was crazy. Accept yourself the way you are, because each one of you is perfect. That's the message Spirit gives to me. Ron, it's perfect just the way it is. And when you accept the perfection of the now, you transform yourself. The world may not instantly change, but you start changing the moment you're willing to embrace and emotionally heal the wounds within you by recognizing the wounded child within you as a cry for love. The whole world right now is giving all of us a cry for love. It's hurting. It's hurting really badly. The masks are coming off. The charade is ending. The lies are being revealed. Everything that's hidden is being brought to the surface so that we can treat it in a new, with respect and in a new way. Instead of rejecting it, we embrace it. And in that embrace is transformation. This is what the ninth wave of the evolution of consciousness is all about. This is our time. This is our place. It is now that we are changing the world by changing what is within us and giving it love instead of the way we've always treated it. I love you this morning, and I speak to you from my heart. Awaken and remember who you are. You are infinite love. Allow that to be, and it will change our world, because there's a lot of us. I bless you. Namaste.